In today's video, I'll be going over the 5 best ways I've got better at Magic the Gathering, and I'll be throwing in a few hints and tips in between, so make sure you are paying attention. Starting off with making a Mocksville account. Now, before people go boo boo, I'm not sponsored by these. This is legit how I got better at Magic the Gathering, and I'm going to give the reasons why. So when it comes to making a Mocksville account, you get to put your decks in there, and yes, it does take a bit of time to do that. However, whenever you make changes to that deck now, you don't have to go through with the entire deck, finding the card, taking it out, not sure what to put in, not sure what to put out. Here, you just get to sit down with your deck, go through the entire list, pick a card, take it out, put the new one in, and then you know what card to search for, and it saves so much time when it comes to changing the deck, even though you have to spend a few hours putting in all your decks. The other reason for it that I find Mocksville really good is that it shows your mana curve at the bottom. So if you don't really know what to take out, you can be like, oh, I have too many 8 cards and not enough 3 cards. You can take it out, put it in. It will show your strengths and weaknesses of your deck because of the scale. It also shows how many different pips you have in the deck. So depending on what lands you're like, oh, if I put that card out, put this card in, this is going to make these pips go up. So I need to actually change the land slightly. Where if you was just doing the changes of the deck, you won't realize that until a game or two in. Another thing that's really good about Mocksville is that you get to play test your deck. It's one of those things where I know you could just go and play with friends and stuff. However, if you're at home and all your friends are busy or at work and you just want to see your opening hand, how the deck runs, is the card good or not, you get to play test it. The only downside about the play test is it doesn't show what other opponents do. So even though you play your commander on them, we'll say turn 3 or turn 5, and you get to do what you do, it is the optimized turn because it's not accounting for people murdering or attacking you or anything like that when it comes to the game. However, it is really good to catch a few things. For example, my partner made her first deck and she made it completely on her own, and we went through it on Mocksville together, and I play tested it to see how it's like, and we found out that she put the same land in twice in 2 different arts. So it was really good to find that mistake. We also play tested it a few times and found that a card she wanted in it to do one combo-y thing was never being drawn, and she was like, okay, I'm going to put this in because if I take that out, put this in, these 5 cards now work even better, and it really helped make her deck better than it originally was. Another thing is if you want to build a deck and you have a rough idea, you get to search the commander and find multiple people making the same deck. So there might be cards you going, oh, I didn't think that would be in there. That's a good card for the deck because you have other people's decks to compare yours to, but you also have the freedom to make the deck your own. So even though you might be playing the commander completely differently from someone else, there might be a card that is similar that will help you. And then finally, my favorite thing when it comes to Mocksville is the fact that you're allowed to build the deck without buying the cards. I currently have 2 decks on there that I actually don't physically own yet. Mainly because it's one of those things that when I make the deck, I know there's going to be a few changes, I know there's going to be a few cuts. However, I play tested a few times, and when I'm happy enough with the deck, I then have a deck list to buy from, and I'm pretty sure you can buy them all at once from Mocksville itself, because it'll link you to whatever website you use and sort everything out, and then you get to buy it. So I'm currently buying cards, if you ever watch any of my mail day, for my decks, because I don't want that annoying thing where I buy a card and then after the 3rd time I've played the deck, I realize it's bad, and then I don't want it anymore, and I spent money. Even if it's a cheap card, I'm like, this is just going to sit on my folder forever now. I don't want it until possibly I build a new deck or something like that. Number 2 is a website called Play the Game. I'll be putting a link to all of these down below just to let you know. So I'm really bad at mana curves. I will have no idea how many of each land in a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 color deck that I need. However, this website is really easy and really good to use. Only thing you do is literally put in how many lands you want to put in the deck. So for example, we'll say 40. You count all the pips, where if you have it on your Mocksville, it already does it for you. And then you put in the colors and how many you have of each pip, and then it will give you the amount of lands that you need to have produce those colors. So it's really helpful and really useful when it comes to building decks to help you go, cool, I need 5 swamps, 3 islands, and also I can put dual lands in that help with the pips. because I need this many of one color, this many of one color, and this many of one color, and the website helps with that. Really good website, linked down below. Same with Mocksville and every other website I talk about. The next one is EDH Rec, which will again be linked down below, and this helps you in 3 sections. This website is really good for looking up cards and kind of the percentage it is used in decks. So it's one of those things where if you're like, I want to make this type of deck, would this card be good in it? It'll be like, this card is in this many amount of decks, just shows how good it is. Then I'll put it in. It's also really good that if you pick a card, you'll be able to scroll down and see other decks or other commander decks or other like themes it goes with that you might not have seen before. The next is combos. Now I know a lot of people don't like combos, however people do, and it is part of the game. So this part is mainly for people that enjoy putting combos in their deck. This has a selection of every single combo. Only thing you need to do is literally click on combos, pick what your deck colors are. So for example, if you're making a Rakdos deck, you click on Rakdos, and then it will show you every single infinite combo or every single combo in those colors. Also then if you have another deck, you literally just click back into combos, pick the colors of the same deck, and then you get to find the cards that do combos. And then if you click on it, it will give you a rundown of how the combo works. And then finally, if you want to build a commander deck, you literally write in the commander's name, and it shows you kind of common cards that people put in when it comes to building that deck. Now I know you can do a Mocksville to check other people's decks, however this more, instead of checking someone else's deck, this kind of runs through all the decks at once and goes, this card has a high % chance of being in this deck, this card does as well. So it's really good if you have an opponent and you don't know what's in their deck, you can kind of go like, cool, write in their command and go, there is a high chance that this, and this card is going to be in that deck before you start playing with them. So I find that EDH Rec is a really good website for all kind of commander stuff and combos and stuff if you want to look them up. The fourth way to get better at Magic the Gathering is watching people play. Now, when it comes to this, I don't mean like going to your local OGS and watching people play. I mean, there's a lot of people on YouTube that play the game, and I know a lot of them or sometimes get it wrong. However, even watching them play helps you a little bit, especially if someone plays in the same style you like or the same style you play. There is I Hate Your Deck, Shuffle Up and Play, and Elder Dragon Hijinks. Just to say a few, I'll be linking them 3 down because personally they're the ones I watch, but there's way more other ones, and I'm pretty sure if you put in any Discord chat with Magic the Gathering people in it, or if you have friends that play Magic the Gathering, they have their own favorites as well. So they're really easy to find and there's a lot of them. Personally, when it comes to me, I will pretty much watch any episode with Rachel Weeks in it because she's helped me a lot when it comes to building my own decks because I like the way she plays. So it's one of those things that if you start watching these, you might find a player you enjoy playing. So you'll be able to learn and grow and become a better player by watching people that their job is to play Magic the Gathering, play Magic the Gathering. However, do put a side note in that sometimes they make mistakes, but it is a very complicated game and every single player ever will, including professionals. And then finally, and the one that helps me the most, is Ask a Judge. There is a website that I always go, which will be linked down below, that if I'm playing cards or building a deck and I'm like, how does this work? I will literally open a new tab, ask the question, and get an answer. Very fast, very efficient. The most I've ever had to wait was probably maybe 5 minutes. However, like, I'm asking people that are doing this out of the pretty much kindness of their heart, and it has helped me make decks a lot better. There has been a few times where even I've watched games and been like, how does that work? And then asked the judge and they've explained it to me, and I pretty much felt like they have made me a better player because I've now known the rules better. So these are my top 5 ways to get better at Magic the Gathering. If you have any suggestions on how you got better at Magic the Gathering or anything like that, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you play Magic the Gathering and you play Commander, I kind of want to know what people's favorite Commander is. I'm always interested in that type of stuff. So again, also let me know what's your favorite Commander down in the comments down below. But as always, I have a link here where I talk about 10 flavors of Rogue Energy. I know it's not Magic the Gathering, however, it's still a really good video. I have a link here with all the Magic stuff I've made, and hopefully you get to see them and watch more videos. And then I have a cute little thing here that you should click on and subscribe because I'm so close to 300 and I want the channel to keep growing, and I'm loving the way the community's been helping out and stuff like that. And I'll see you all in the next video.